Welcome in to episode 17 of our Let's Play Humankind series featuring the Harbor Strat. We are rapidly approaching endgame, and so I want to jump right into the game. However, if you've missed any of the episodes in our Let's Play series so far, right down in the description below is a link to episode 1. You can catch up on all of the episodes and see just how we got to where we are here with our Harbor Strat. Let's jump right into the game. Here we are, of course, in our capital city of Byblos. It is looking lovely. We have 80 people living in our capital. 80 population. Who knows what the actual equivalent is in the game? Somebody actually probably does. If you know in the comments what a population equates to, I feel like it's obviously not like a direct number. Like, we have a large city that's pretty expansive. Like, clearly more than 80 people probably would live in this expansive city across multiple territories. So maybe there's some sort of ratio that Amplitude had in mind when they built Humankind about what a population meant, right? It's usually not like a one-to-one, like one population equals one person. Like, it's some sort of variant number, like every population is 1,000 people or something. I have no idea what it is, right? But we have lots of people in Byblos, and we are in the industrial era playing as the Siamese. You will see here that our floating markets are going in. That is what we are focusing on right now. So today, the goal for our episode, progress through the rest of the industrial era and make our move into the final era of the game, therefore essentially triggering all of our end game conditions and working towards seeing how fast we can end the game, but also in conjunction with that, how much gold can we make? Because that is now the goal, and kind of has been ever since we started this game, is gold making. The Harbor Strat centers around, obviously, harbors. We've got this going on now. Here's kind of a full, actually that's not a good example of one. Let's go up here. Here's kind of a full picture, right, of what we've got going on. It's absolutely beautiful. We don't have the floating market in on this one, so again, not probably a perfect example, but we have our Bandari, we have our Haven, we have our Kothon, we have our regular harbor, all surrounding a VOC warehouse. So this is what we would call a perfect VOC warehouse in the Harbor Strat, because the maximum number of harbors that you can get access to through different cultures is, in fact, 4. The normal harbor, the Kothon from the Carthaginians, the Haven from the Phoenicians, and the Bandari from the Swahili. We are now playing the Siamese, because the Siamese get us access to our floating markets, which you can actually see right here. The floating market, despite the fact that it is built on water, is not a harbor. So it plays well into the Harbor Strat because, I mean, look how beautiful this looks now, right? With our regular harbor here. I mean, honestly, just look how beautiful the regular harbor looks. But then you've got the Bandari looks beautiful. You've got your Kothon looks absolutely gorgeous. Then you've got this floating market out on the water. Basically, we've turned the water into this just amazingly beautiful thing, right? So that's been the whole goal. We've got our religion is centered around water, and we've got a lot of great things going for us. Our whole continent is claimed. We are like raring to go. We're basically just simming at this point, and we are cranking through stars. We're not really gearing up for stars particularly. We'll try to grab a few of these science stars, but honestly, once all of our once all of our floating markets are in, we're probably just going to make our move up into the air. So let's end turn, and we will rock and roll through the industrial era into the end. All right, we got a couple cities that are near starvation, Byblos and Kilwa. So let's give that a look. And this is where, again, our money production comes in handy, because we have copious amounts of money. And so when a city gets into any sort of trouble, we basically just buy it back to its rightful state. So we can jump in and grab whale fishing for 57 food. That does potentially trigger some events in game, which, again, probably one of my favorite things about Humankind is things you build, things you do, what you research, the civics you choose, all of these happiness ratings in your city, well, stability really, affect events that pop up throughout the game. And I still haven't seen all of them pop up in my hundreds of hours of play, and so it's super fun to see when those pop up. So let's put our whale fishing in. We're just going to buy that out. Boom. 13.3 thousand. But look, we're making 43.6 thousand per turn. So drop in the bucket for us. So we'll take 57 food. That will solve our food problems in Byblos. And our other city that was starving was Kilwa. So we will go
starvation.
There. Hey.
I'm afraid they've already eaten all the bread and the cake, and now the pantry seems empty.
Well, we'll fix that because our pantry happens to be full of gold. So we're going to go ahead and fix that problem with, a fertilizer plant. Wait, does the fertilizer plant? No, fertilizer plant is fine. It does not generate... Right, it does not generate pollution, I don't think, yet. So 10% food on fertilizer plant. We can also get the do whale fishing here. Let's grab a fertilizer plant just for the goods of it. That will fix our problems there. I try to stay away from pollution-based buildings. I think you could go into, in my opinion, you can go into pollution-based buildings a little bit in Humankind, and it doesn't really negatively affect you. However, if you get into the pollution stages where you start to actually decrease the productivity ratings of your city because of pollution, and you start to lose food, and you start to lose production and money, like all of that stuff, it's just not worth the gains you're getting out of the buildings. There's definitely probably an argument for why you just want to pollute and just take those penalties. I don't mind polluting because I've actually never triggered that endgame condition. It might be kind of fun to try to trigger that endgame condition, but that's one of the things. I just don't like the penalties that your city suffers from when you are polluting. It's just like not worth it to me. So, okay. Floating markets. Let's go get floating markets in. That looks like a lovely spot for a floating market. 100 gold per turn. Beautiful. Put it in. What else we got? More floating markets. Carthage, you're almost out of food as well, but that's fine. Oh, look at this location for a floating market. This is gonna... Floating market into harbor, into floating market. I mean, it's on a reef, but maybe it'll still look pretty. You know? Hopefully it will still look pretty. Beautiful. Another floating market. And here we are in Kilwa. We'll grab another market. And it looks like we only have a couple more of these to put in. I love that look right there. That's gonna be beautiful. Right off of Mount Vesuvius. Perhaps a dangerous place to build a VOC warehouse and harbors. Basically in the shadow of Mount Vesuvius, but you know, such is the beauty of what we can do in Humankind. I mean, look at this. Look at this. It's got the ash coming out of it. Oh, what a beautiful game. What? A beautiful game. All right, let us progress. All right, got some intelligence uncovered. And a new alliance has come out. I don't mind everyone being peaceful with each other is good for me at this point, because we basically just want alliances and trade with everybody. That's kind of our goal right now. So this city does not have any more. Okay, so we jump down here. We might want to put in whale fishing, but again, we can buy all of that stuff in. We can also get like, oh gosh, like look at some of the buildings we get. Plus 59 science. Okay. So let's take a quick break from building markets and put a couple of science buildings in. I can't pass that up. Oh, the other thing I want to do, because we have just like so much money, I just want to buy everything that's gold related. I don't even care if it doesn't make us money. If it gets us gold, 300 money. I'm gonna go through every city. We're just gonna spend all of our gold. This is the turn to do it, I feel like, you know? Like, let's spend our gold. Let's get... Okay, so all the money stuff is bought in here. Let's grab some science stuff. Honestly, we should probably just do that in that other city, too. You know what? We're gonna... These things that we're just gonna buy. Buy it. We're just gonna buy it. We're rolling in the dough. We're rolling in the dough. Buy it. You know what? Just buy it. Let's just purchase stuffs. That gets the city... Oh, we can get whale fishing. You know what? Just get the whale fishing. It just doesn't matter at this point, right? We have so much money, so we just buy everything in, right? They have no researchers in this city. We're working all gold here. Oh, I guess that makes sense. That's fine. I guess we're cranking gold, but I will put this in just for the sake of it, and then we'll grab whale fishing as well in all of our cities. Let's just run through. We'll go to buyout. We'll make sure we have... Is that worth 600 gold per? Oh, fine. Not even looking, you know? We'll just click the button. And this, one of my favorite parts about the harbor strat. Just 22 industry, why not? Like, I just love the fact that I could just come into a city and just buy everything at this point, you know? We're just, like, we just click. We don't even look to see if it's beneficial. We just click on it. and we get ourselves rolling. We're at 300,000 gold. So, you know, we're really making a dent in our bank here. Like, it's definitely painful. What's this worth? 480 money? Oh, why, how have we not put these in before? Probably we just I hadn't thought of it, you know? I hadn't thought about, oh, let's check our infrastructures and spend all of our gold, you know? But now we thought of it, so we're gonna do it. But we actually might run ourselves out of gold. That would actually be kind of exciting. Will we be able to do it? Can we run ourselves out of gold? Oh, we're right. We're back to Amsterdam now, so we tried to buy everything we could. We still couldn't run ourselves out of gold, you know? I mean, I don't really need the influence or that. It looks like we need research quarters. We need to put research quarters in each of our cities. Looks like we're missing a couple of research quarters. So that's something we can kind of focus in on. Oh, that was 24,000 gold to buy whatever that was. I didn't even look. All right, so we do need, so we'll have to focus in on a couple cities need research quarters still that don't have them. So that's something we can think about. All right, that all triggered because we were going to build some stuff in Lamu, and then we decided not to. So we don't need infrastructures here anymore, so we can focus on our districts. Now, the key here with our districts is we're putting in market quarters as much as possible. Now, we probably should put in some hamlets, and then is this one of the cities that need... No, they have a research quarter, so we're good. So we're going to go and get... we're just going to keep putting markets down, because that is our primary goal, right? We want to surround our VOCs with markets, so anywhere we get a good market in, we put the market in. It's essentially what we're going for right now, right? So, aeronautics research. Our science probably just skyrocketed because we bought so many of those science techs in as well. All right, people are ending treaties with me, actually, so we need to... Let's check some of our treaties. I see it. Trade routes being... 16 trade routes blocked there, so someone is still at war.
Perhaps we have some common ground.
We don't have a science exchange? Hello? Did you just downgrade
this? We would all benefit from growing closer, don't you think?
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, but no deal is better than a bad...
Wondering if you're a partner or an impediment.
I just don't want science.
I have a proposition for
we
you.
don't want to share science.
I think you'll like it.
I mean, I'd like to share science.
Me, huh? The answer's...
Tell me what
they
is
get
on
very
your
angry.
mind.
We have a science exchange
This
with
proposition
but then nothing else. Every AI is so
interest.
fantastically different, and I love it. We still don't have a connection point for that, which I think is fun.
All those of honest intent may
Full
have
trading.
We would all
I was
benefit
just
from
offer
growing
them things
closer,
because
don't
then
you
you could
think?
get, like, you proc things for your envoys to pick
greetings.
up, right?
I hope you don't mind if I stare.
Open borders.
We would all benefit from growing closer.
Envoys
don't you
don't
think?
matter for open borders, though, right? Trade, we're full trading, so we just like take a proposal.
I have a proposition for you.
Perfect.
I think you'll like
Perfect.
it.
Okay, so that's everything here. The other thing sometimes you can do if you're really trying to min-max in Humankind, not even min-max really, but just take advantage of things, is if you go to your crises and you just scroll through these every once in a while, right? You've got... You want your envoys or your spies to pick up your leverages, right? You want your spies to pick these up because they're worth more if they get picked up in-game. But if you renounce them, you could at least get 5 per, right? You get 5 grievances or 5 of the leverages, which does contribute towards your diplomatic point score. So, you know, it's one of those things where if you leave them, you're likely to get more if you have envoys in that area. I just have mine on Auto Explore, so I don't really know, and I can go check, but that would take a long time. But these have 4 turns left, so I'm like, okay, so they can stay, right? But if you start seeing, like, if there's 1 turn left, and you happen to be going through this, and you see that there's 1 turn left, the likelihood that one of your envoys is about to pick that up is usually pretty low. And so sometimes I'll go through, like, this one. Like, you could check to see if my envoys are here, but, like, I'm just going to renounce this one. It expires in a turn, so I'll just renounce that.
You won't do it again.
And then I get at least those 5 points from it, right? So that's just something to think about as you're going through the game, trying to max out those stars. We're at 7,999.1 science per turn. We are going to want to go straight to rocket science and see if we can get a space race endgame condition. So let's see. We've got that. That's all unlocked already through what we have here. So you can get all the way to rocket science just by having aeronautics unlocked, I believe. However, the next thing we need to get to after that is uranium, which is right here. And so we kind of want to get to trench warfare as well. So we're going to go ahead and click to that right now. That'll also put us on a tech path where there's a couple of like relatively cheap sciences, which we're totally fine with that. The other thing to think about is grain silos, although you get 1 pollution on farmer's quarter, and usually you've bought a lot of farmer's quarters. So these industrial silos, they're not the grain silos, the industrial silos can be problematic from a pollution standpoint if you've really put a lot of farmer's quarters down, because as soon as you put in an industrial silo, all of those farmer's quarters start generating that +1 pollution. So you gotta be careful with pollution as you get rolling into the game. So, okay. A fight! Man, this Free People's has just been the bane of any of my units' existence that come into this area. They fight everyone. Oh, wow. What is this battle? Who is my unit? I have a warrior just randomly out here still? Against an army of knights. In the water, of all places. Oh, that guy's sailing into a bad spot. I wouldn't do that, but that's fine. All right, that was interesting.
Reaching the end of an ideology axis isn't
Argentinians. So
extremist.
now we have our
Think of it as being focused, yes?
14
Very
religious
goal-oriented.
conversion started. Our religion is going crazy. See, so here's where that like demonstration of that, right? So you found a leverage intel collecting 20 leverage, right? So collected 20 leverage rather than 5, like that's pretty substantial. If you leave them to let your envoys collect them, right? What's I gotta look at? Well, there's a lot of leverage just sitting around. Okay. Let's progress along. Sidon, oh, good, nice. So Sidon now has all of the floating markets are in here, so that's good news for them. Why don't we have this? Let's buy that. Okay. And then we're just gonna go into market production, right? We're just gonna start plopping markets down in, not like this is such a beautiful location for a market adjacent to our VOC, adjacent to multiple of our harbors. It's going to get us some nice benefits. And so we're basically, our goal is we don't want to go like, we won't go nuts with the market quarters, but we do want to make sure we at least like full surround our whole harbor area with market quarters. So like this. Like we want every harbor that can be adjacent to a market quarter we want, and every VOC that can be adjacent to a market quarter we want, right? So we'll do that first, and then if we have any spots like up here, for example, like we already have a VOC here, but so we want to surround this as well, because if we've got luxuries, like we might as well surround the luxuries as much as we can with market quarters as well to maximize the market quarter value of those different manufactories, the luxury, well, both the manufactories, because we have many of those in, but also just the extractors, right? Okay. Killa also has all of their pieces in. Oh, they're one of the ones that need a research. So let's take a look and see where would a good research quarter be. It's so funny that it's often not next to the strategic resources, which is typically speaking where you would find the most value there. I don't mind this spot, like up in here somewhere. This looks kind of cool, actually. We'll put a research quarter right there. I'm down for that. So let's get some research quartered in if they need research. So the way I'm telling if they need a research quarter, by the way, is this university it's +1 science per research quarter, and so it grays it out because you don't have any research quarters, so you actually can't build an infrastructure inside of a district that you don't have, right? Because the university sits inside a research quarter. Well, I don't have a research quarter in this city, therefore I can't build it, right? So if I see this grayed out, then I know we should build a research quarter somewhere, right? This is actually a perfect location for one if that's not VOC adjacent, and it's not. So this is great because it's adjacent to a strategic resource, which is what we want for research quarters. That's what they benefit from. And it actually also is going to give us adjacency bonuses to other districts that we've got going on. So that'll be nice. Revenge of the Pharaohs 3! Those who wailed about for centuries delayed vengeance of a dead man now hide their faces in shame. Testing reveals that the mummy was indeed the cause of the tragedies that befell those associated with it, because it was coated in an ancient bacteria grown upon long since decayed food and turned alongside it. We now know that this affects both the wits and the guts, but unfortunately we can treat it, fortunately we can treat it easily. We needn't fear the Pharaoh's curse any longer. nor anyone else. There's much rejoicing and hilarity. Boosts our science, which is great. We get celebrating. Doesn't help us right now, but you know what? I love the fact that it's a 3-part. It's funny. You know, they pull from pop culture for some of these. I don't know. This is fun. All right, Carthag's got a pop gain. More intel collected. 10 more religion things and a downgraded tree. Fascinating. All right, Carbine's research. There's a science star. And let's check our star production while we're here. We're full on builder. We have, okay, so we have 5 techs before we hit science. That would also, for me, trigger a move up. I don't like to push past science very much. Agrarian stars, we're literally about to hit this probably next turn or two. So perfect. We'll have plenty of stars, right? My MO is I'd really like to get at least 3. 4 is like my that's what you really want to go for, right? 4 third level stars. 4 third level stars gets you kind of a good era. I don't worry about pushing too much past that. But 4 of the third level stars is definitely something that I like to do in most of my Humankind games. Okay. We're just gonna check here. We're fine. Let's get market in.
Unfortunately, this time you are merely a bystander to someone else's glory.
Mr. Narrator? Who's? This is gonna look beautiful. 102 gold per turn. What a beautiful floating market. Carthage also has all their floating markets in now, so that's cool. That's perfectly fine with me. Let's just write this out. And they also need... Interesting. Okay, so they also need a research. So I guess that would be a good time for this. That is not a good spot for me. Because that is definitely a market quarter spot. However, we had some... Yeah, like up in here. Like here-ish or something like that. Like plus 14. Are we getting 13 here? Why would we go 13 here when we could go 14 here? Oh, because of the stability. We put it next to harbors. We don't take the stability penalty. So the game is saying, ooh, I like that we're not getting stability minuses, but that's fine. Let's stick it even in this corner. That's kind of cool. Beautiful. Do it. All right, we'll get some research quarters in so we can buy in the rest of our infrastructures. Ooh, the Cradle of Humankind 2. The archaeological dig near Byblos has yielded a breathtaking find, the remarkably well-preserved remains of a distant and hitherto unknown ancestor to humanity, the study of which could provide long elusive answers to the riddle of evolution. Interest in this unprecedented discovery is sky high across the world, but its fate is in your hands. The millennium-old body could lead to enlightenment or profit. Perhaps it might be the means to which to cement your rule. The question then is, how can humanity's past best be used to serve your future? Well, oh, interesting. You can exploit it and take fame on Cradle of Humankind 2. That's interesting. 50 fame is a substantial chunk. That's a really big number of fame. Like, this is very valuable. So what are these results then? Prosperous plus 30 money for 10 turns. That's... and plus 25 science for 10 turns. So I'm not going to exploit it. I think this is well worth it, though. Even to move... How far back? You only move 1 tick down? I think they should make this more punitive on the science side. That's interesting. Actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take this. We're going to exhibit it because we want money, right? So we'll just take the money. Let's take the money.
You're at the end of an ideology axis?
Perfect.
Well, there's something to be said for unswerving dedication to a cause.
There's our agrarian star. Lamu is in starvation. So
Death from starvation.
Let's go check on them.
It seems that these are the times that try a people's dietary habits.
True. Apparently, our cities are now growing at a rate that is so high, we can't even keep up with it in a food production basis. Like, we have every food thing is in. So I guess we're just going to be buying out. It's like we could put a farm square. I like the idea of just putting a hamlet in, though. It's probably going to be our best. Oh, that's the hamlet? I don't think we need that hamlet. That's the one hamlet you could put in. So let's not do that. Let's just put in farmer's quarter. Boom, farmer's quarter in. And then we can choose our production here. And we're just going to go market quarters. Perfect. Please keep building market quarters. As long as you're growing, market quarters it is. Okay, we can buy out this now, which doesn't get us much, but as we start putting people into this, obviously, oh, actually, no, because this is just on market quarter. We only have 1 research quarter, so that's why it's not getting us anything. 24,000. You know what? Doesn't matter. We buy it. It doesn't matter. All right, so now we can continue our production of 29 gold. 29 gold when we're making 50.7k per turn doesn't feel like a lot, but look, we'll take it, okay? We'll keep adding to our gold total as much as we possibly can. Look at our money per turn. Love it. Okay, I believe we can buy out these now as well. Out. And we'll keep working on some of these. 26. Perfect, do it. Another fight. Just leave me alone. We could just
Unfortunately,
invest in them.
this
we haven't
time you are merely a bystander to someone else's glory.
I'm talking here. Unfortunately, this time we have not actually invested in any free peoples. I just decided not to invest in free peoples. Obviously, investing in free peoples is hugely beneficial, and you should typically be doing it in all of your games. But because we had other things we were focusing on, I just never turned around and did any of that. It does look like the map has gotten claimed up nicely. We still have like open spaces. I guess these are islands. Technically, we could have claimed these because no one came and claimed them. I like our expansion. I feel like these pushed our expansion too far. I didn't want to take advantage of the fact that we're playing on Hamlet. I only wanted to play on Hamlet so that I could make sure I got all the cultures I wanted so we could show off the strat, you know? Alright. Aztecs to Poles. Byblos is now starving again. I feel like every turn we get this.
I'm afraid they've already eaten
messages.
all the bread and the cake, and now the pantry seems empty.
Is it 610? I mean, we'll buy that in for the fun of it, and then let's just buy in. We'll buy in a farmer's quarter as well. Ooh, 15 food only? Yeah, we're running out of food production possibilities here in Byblos. Byblos is gonna hit kind of a wall, I think, at some point. The population has gotten like substantially high. Part of that is because we're putting in so many districts that our pop cap is really high. Like we have excess amounts of population cap. And then our food, the land in Byblos is not particularly advantageous for food. So, oh, that was just turn there. Wow, okay. That was turn. I didn't even like look at anything else. 8 trade routes destroyed. Okay, that's not great. Joseph is now known as a thief. Why is that? He must have destroyed something. Intel collected. Okay, well, let's check our trade, because that's a lot of destroyed trade routes.
You'll have to forgive me, but have we met? I can't recall.
Oh, that's rude.
Yes, I suppose I have time.
Greetings.
Check our trade. We know that iron
Perhaps
we can't get.
We
Okay,
have,
so we do have
some common ground.
Here.
Hello, how are you?
Hi.
I'm busy, be quick.
Wow. Wait, why can we buy this via that? Wait, that's confusing. Oh, maybe that was, someone has no idea why I wouldn't be able to purchase that particular. Okay. No one else was selling that, so why could I buy it via a merchant ability? I don't know. That's kind of interesting. Okay. All right, Carthage got theirs in. Let's go ahead and buy all of their things. Boom, boom, boom. And then we will get them to work on a market order. These are going to start looking mighty nice. Existential chasms. The Empire is enthralled with the rational investigation of nature. Many cities awash with scientists and their studios, as well as the great boons brought up by their learnings. Their insights sometimes threaten the established truths of your faith. How should such divisions be interpreted? This one's interesting. Plus 1% science on Holy Site. You don't have a lot of Holy Sites. If you've maxed out Holy Sites by taking the last the last merchant-based tenet, I can't remember which one that is called, donate generously or something like that, whatever it is, you get a couple of extra Holy Sites, so you could probably get, like, I don't know, what are you looking at, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 7 Holy Sites maybe, but then any wonders you've built, so maybe, like, if you maxed it out, like, maybe you're looking at, like, 10, so 10% is, like, decent, but most of the time, you're probably more along the lines of, like, 5, so you'd be looking at, like, 5% tops if you've got a bunch of Holy Sites down. 5% science is, like, not bad. Typically, you're going to take this if you're going down the more sciencey route of the tree. And then you could also take, if you've got research quarters where you're looking to generate faith or stability, this is almost never something that you'll probably take. This one's probably worth it, right? Especially for...
Indeed. There is a difference between
we have those, so we
inspiration
can push
and
our
investigation.
percentage-based science up. Okay. We gotta be getting close now, right? Sidon and Lamu gain population. I think we're getting close to our move up here. Amsterdam is near
Starvation.
Let's go solve that problem.
I don't mean to nag, but the marks one leaves on history should not necessarily be from malnutrition.
That's true, and I agree. All right, where are we? 14 food. That's not a lot. That's not a ton. It is going to save. It's going to save us for now. Well, mainly because it gives us extra, right? Gives us extra workers, an extra worker slot to work, so we're going to pick up the food that way as well. Biblos is going to hit that point again here in 5 turns when they grow. I'm wondering if we should just buy out. Well, where are we? No, we're not sitting. We haven't hit our science stars yet, so we can just we can keep building. We keep building these in. I think this is the last one. This may actually be our very last one, which means in 4 turns would probably trigger that. I think that's our final floating market potential. Warfare's been researching pretty low level, well, for us, low level techs early in the age era right now, so that those techs are kind of cranking pretty quickly. All right, this city is looking great, so we're going to continue to put in these guys. There's another 26 gold. Science. So we got all the way up to our science. I think I want to grab mechanization while we're here, just in case we want to grab any of these things. Again, all of those buildings are pollution oriented. We're not having stability problems. We're not really doing any of these things. So like none of this really matters to us. Yeah. So we probably should just grab a cheap tech, right? Like we just grab like this because it's cheap. And then maybe this. We'll have to see how many techs we need to move up. Sidon and Carthage. So let's go Aesthete Star Earn. Perfect. Quickly mass out our stars. All right, Sidon needs a little bit of help. So we go and buy out a market quarter. Not that market quarter, though, because we need to... Sorry, farmer's quarter, because those over there need to be market quarters. Our farmer's quarters have been going in like this issue. It's a 14. That's not bad. Oh. Boom. Fixes the food problem, at least for the next 4 turns. And we'll do the same thing here. Nope, sorry, not. Check Carthage. I think Carthage is the other one that was... Yeah. All the hamlets are in, so the only way we can get food now is by putting in these quarters. We don't want to put it there because that needs to be a market quarter to be adjacent to our VOC. So I think we will stick it here instead. Lamu is ready to just continue building market quarters, so continue to do that. There's a nice one on the cliffs, adjacent to a bunch of stuff. Beautiful. Basically every turn.
Death from starvation. It seems that these are the times that try people's dietary habits.
I'm done with the narrator telling me about it. Okay, Amsterdam. Let's get you fixed up. 4 market quarters. More market quarters. Now, I keep saying market quarters, and I'm putting in farmers' quarters. More farmers' quarters. Well, because it's what I really want is market quarters, you know? It's what I really want. We're going to go ahead and throw another market quarter in here. We do have hamlets left to build in this city. We could think about hamlets if we wanted to. Basically just putting these down everywhere. We probably should just queue up a bunch of these and then just roll through turns, but I don't know. I like to go 1 turn at a time. That's how I play the game, just in case, you know, things happen. If I queue things up, I tend not to go back and look at the city at all, which can be helpful, like when you get to like end game type of situations, and you're just kind of queuing through turns to get stuff done. That's perfectly acceptable, I think. But for now, I like to kind of just go through each turn. Again, I think we want just easy stuff, so we'll tech mechanization here. That should get us our science star relatively quickly. 3 people still attacking us. Like everywhere. 3 people's trying to attack us in every which direction. How rude. Oh, I got 2 more cities starving. Kilwa and Lamu. There's a diplomat star, so our envoys out and about doing their work, didn't even have to think about it, picked up a diplomat star. That's why it's important to get either envoys or spies, but make sure you have your maximum amount out and doing the work, because you'll start picking up those stars without even thinking about it, and that's super handy. All right, let's go to Kilwa, buy them in a farmer's quarter, or a hamlet. What's the hamlet going to get us? Okay, we'll just put, like, we'll put in the hamlet. It's not what we need. Obviously, we need food, but 10 food? That's not. That's also a market quarter spot. So that I don't actually want it, which means we may be in some amount of trouble food-wise in this city. I don't know where we're going to get food from. Nice. That 10 food is the best one we can do. I guess we could start here and start building out. Nice. Okay, that gets him to 5 food, so that's fine. Ugh.
Ah, it is a pleasure indeed to see you.
Sign it.
You are as...
Resources sold. Okay, we fixed our starving problems. If a couple trade routes blocked, that's no problem. It says blocked, usually it's going to be fine. If it says destroyed, then it's time to revisit your trade routes. All right, there it is. The last floating market is in. Let's check all of our cities. Let's do a quick check on floating markets. As long as we don't see a floating market pop up down here, then all of them are in. I think that's it. Perfect. All the floating markets are in, so we're prepped and ready for our move up as soon as we research 2 more techs. So we'll research 2 more techs, and then we will hit that move up button. So we got 1 turn on this, and I think 3 turns, so 4 turns from now, we will hit that move up button. And in between now and then, we'll just be building markets. There's a 32 one. Oh, that's going to be beautiful. Okay, so we'll just keep putting market quarters in. That was turn 200. We have now passed the turn 200 mark. Population gains. We have our religion spreading. Don't know. That was 11 different religious spreads. And then we have our traditional cities that are starving. So go to Byblos and buy out another farmer's quarter. Not that needs to be a market quarter, so let's not do that. Where else do we have? There's some food up there. The 10. Let's start building about here. Oh, that didn't actually solve it. That didn't solve our problem. Yikes. Did that solve the problem? It's getting ridiculous, but we don't even have to think about it. Share maps. Fine.
Yes, I cannot dispute the benefit in that.
Let's check our trade while we're here, just while we're in this screen. I'm buying an extra horse somehow. Something broke, right? Oh, we should not have paid that money. That probably was something we should not have.
Hello.
You are a sight for...
Come.
Tedious.
It gladdens my heart to see you this day.
Missing out on some coffee at 79 gold. All right, perfect. Great, maxed out all of our trade again. Are we allied with everybody at this point? What are our alliances looking like? Alliance, 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 alliance. Not alliance?
This proposition should be in all our best interest. This proposition should be in all our best interest.
We have two folks that are refusing to ally with. Oh, who's the other city that was starving?
Starvation?
I pressed the button again.
I'm afraid they've already eaten all the bread and the cake.
Oh, we
and
fixed
now
this
the
already.
pantry seems empty.
When did we fix Carthage? Said they were starving. They're no longer starving. Oh, because we traded for coffee. That's why. We traded for coffee. All right. Carthage needs to keep building these. That's a beautiful spot. Let's put it in. Science, we're just going to take the cheapest one. Just go electricity. Probably we should get some electricity for our nation. That feels right. All right, one more turn until we execute our move. Our final move up of the Harbor Strat. We are rapidly approaching the end of this series and about to see just how far we can push the money of the Harbor Strat. We're already at 51.8k per turn. It's substantial. Substantial. Let's continue building market quarters. These are getting very expensive. Like 6 turns at this much industry. It's getting very expensive. We'll start spending all of our gold again, probably on market quarters, to be honest, as we get into the next era.
Lightning in a bottle.
Hey!
This new power will impact every aspect of society, from public safety to industrial production. Change is coming.
Indeed. Finally got electricity online. Oh, and it was a world beat. Well, everything's going to be a world beat, right? There's our science star. Let's click through this really quick. Carthage gained pop. Trade routes destroyed. Okay, so now we have trade route destroyed messages. So that's when I always... Oh, foreign war declared. That's probably why we have trade routes. That's why we have all these grievances as well. And we're picking up some more diplomats. All right, let's check our trade routes really quick, because I saw that
noble
destroyed.
deed shall we perform
there it goes.
next,
Couple
my
of salts are
honored
gone.
ally?
Salted beefs! Ooh, I've never gotten to buy these before. How exciting. Purchase some salted beefs. I don't think I've ever bought those before.
You?
Or at least I don't recall.
What is it?
Greetings.
Hello, hello.
Quick check.
Hello.
Oh no, that iron we can't get. We already know that. So we'll stop trying to get it. We're like double buying some of these from other people. I didn't know that was possible, to be honest. Oh, there's that salted beef. That's cool. I never played the Argentinians. I have like, part of me wants to. They have some good, there's some good stuff about the Argentinians. That'd be fun to play. I think it's the Argentinians that make salted beef, right? All right. We could put in, no, we're building market quarters. I don't know. What am I thinking? Market quarters, please. Market quarters, please. Should just queue up all the market quarters, you know. But again, then I'll just forget. I'll forget that what the city's doing. We have 1,000 surplus here. It must have ended on a weird turn. Okay, we do now have access to more infrastructures, so if we have to, we can start a couple of pollution-y type things, if we so chose. Yep, let's just fill in. Oh, I'm just gonna fill in the coast, like 2 tiles deep, probably. I don't want to go much further than that, but like 2 tiles deep off the coast probably is gonna become market quarters as we go. All right, tech screen, which this shouldn't matter too much, so we'll just tech, like wireless telegraphy. It's actually, I don't know. How would you say that? Our science is churning in the appropriate direction, and we are at turn 203, and we are ready to move up. All of our floating markets are in. We check our stars. We have all of our builder stars. We have all our science stars, all our merchant stars, all of our agrarian stars. Those are typically the ones that I'm looking for. We've also picked up 2 of our aesthete stars, which is really nice. We've picked up a couple of our diplomat stars. That's great. This late in the game, expansionist stars, unless you're going to war, are very hard to come by. Obviously, military stars, unless you're at war, very hard to come by. So I like what we've done here. We have Phoenicians, to Carthaginians, to Swahili, to Dutch, to Siamese. And now we have an interesting choice ahead of us. The choice is, and we talked about this a little bit in the last episode, the choice is really between 2 particular cultures. The typical one you would choose when running this strat is the Chinese, because they are the merchant culture. They get you 10% money on all cities. For us, that's pretty ridiculous because we're making a lot of money. 10% money on all cities is big, okay? And it gets you access to the Congress. The Congress gets you +7 money per number of attached territories. We've attached like 5 to 6 territories, so you're looking at approximately 35 to 42, maybe 50, like 49, you know, gold per, like 49 gold per probably tops at this point with the attachments. So you'd be getting 49 gold if on the best of your cities, right? It's like 49 gold per Congress, which is not bad, right? Because you could put a bunch of these Congresses in. Here is my current thinking, though. Every time I've done this strategy, which I haven't done it like a ton, but like a couple times, right? That I've done this strategy, I always end up picking the Chinese. The Congress is hard to pass up. I actually want to say this 10% money on all cities is nice, but because of the game that we're playing right now, the Indians, I think, is going to be the direction I go. I don't really care about the plus influence on territory, like that doesn't matter to me, and I do not care about the Ashram at all. In fact, the Ashram is not great, except that it is a religious quarter, and it does get you on religious district +1 money, +1 science. So if you're playing like a religious-based game where you've picked a lot of different religious districts as for your cultures, like if you've had cultures that have religious districts, the Ashram could potentially be really good. However, This right here, plus 2% money per number of territories in your sphere of influence on city or outpost. 2% per number of territories in your sphere of influence on city or outpost. So that's basically this, right? 10% money on all cities. This is 10%. It's going to be 10% all the time. So every one of your cities right away is going to get this. But here, we're going to get 2% money per number of territories in your sphere of influence on each of our cities or outposts. Here's the thing. If we look at our sphere of influence right now, in this game, it pretty much covers the entire map. So if I am understanding the way that the Indians work and their trait, we have a few holdouts. We're talking probably, I don't know how many territories are in a game of Humankind. Like, we have the whole map. So, like, even if we just took our territories, we've got like 5 to 6 territories per city, and we have 6 cities. So 6 times 6 is what, 36? That's 36 times 2? Is that, like, that, does that math work out? Like, my assumption is that that's how it works. If it works for territories, like, even outside of that, then this 2% money per number of territories in your sphere of influence, like, we could be doubling our money. Like, I'm interested in seeing how this goes. So let's take a look. Our current money is 53.2 thousand per turn. So 53.2. I'm going to pick the Indians, and we're going to see what happens, because I'm really interested in seeing how ridiculous this potentially is as soon as we get this economic elephant bonus, right? The difference, of course, is that they're in a steep culture, so we're not getting a market quarter. So we're not getting the Congress, right? But I think that this bonus is going to be pretty ridiculous. So let's see what happens. We're at 53.2. Let's adopt the Indians and see what happens. Our final move up of the Harbor Strat. We're going to move up to the Indians and grab this benefit from economic elephant.
The human mind, creative, imaginative, and ingenious at turning every single human invention to its most violent end. We pray or hope, looking forward to a future which, with luck, will be counted in millennia, not in months.
I mean, we've been pretty peaceful.
Great philosophers, great mathematicians, great food. Sadly, the elephants are no longer armed.
Which is good. Okay. I've never played as the Indians before, and there it goes. So exactly what I thought was going to happen, which is absolutely beautiful. We've entered the contemporary era. We immediately get a merchant star. 110,000 gold per turn. So we just increased by just a ridiculous amount. We're at 53.2, right? We're at 53.2 thousand. We over doubled, which is almost exactly what I said was probably going to be the case. So there we go. We are now at 110,000 gold per turn. Those big city sounds, you know? Some nice big city sounds. All right, couple trade routes blocked. This is fine. I can't. Population gained, and nobody's starving anymore, so that's nice. And if we just straight up end turn. Oh, we can't wait. We literally can't do any. Oh, everyone's already building stuff. Okay, that's weird. I've never had that on a move up before. All right, we'll just end turn. Sure, why not? We'll get a couple turns into this here. All right, so here is our last kind of big indicator, right? How far will you push Humankind? We're in the contemporary era. King managed to boost the Indians, entered the final era. But once any of the following has occurred, the empire with the most fame will be declared the victor. That's one of my, again, I like this. The person who ends the game is not necessarily the person who wins the game. Fame dictates who wins the game, so I think that's kind of fun. It's different from other 4X strategy games typically. So these are the win conditions. Earning every contemporary era star, very challenging to do, but it can be done. Unlocking all of the endgame techs, I have done that once before, but also that one's a challenge. Eliminating all the other empires, very difficult as well. Vassalizing all surviving empires, probably basically as difficult as eliminating, maybe a little easier. Sending a mission to Mars, arguably the easiest endgame condition, and rendering the world unfit for human life through pollution. I've never done that one before, so I don't know how hard it is to crank pollution. I mean, there's so many buildings that could do it. I mean, you could definitely pull it off. If you set yourself up from the beginning to do it that way, I just don't feel like that's a great way to end a game of Humankind, is by, you know, polluting the world to death. But, you know, such is maybe where we're at now. I'm not sure. That's not what we're going to do. We're going to push for Space Race. The big thing with Space Race is you can end up in wars late game over resources, particularly if you've moved up ahead of people and you're trying to end a game before they get more fame. They might have access to critical resources you need in order to build some of the things you need to build. And so that can become problematic. Our empire is big enough that I think that will be fine. So we'll see. Okay. Now, we can build our ashrams. It does get us +5 money on religious district. Wait, was that one of the things about that? How are we getting +5 money on religious district? Wait, what is this number? Current money, minus 2 million? That seems incorrect. Wow, we already have all 3 merchant stars. One turn in amazing. In the final era, which these stars are actually usually hard to get. Honestly, it looks like we bugged it. Like the game was like, wait, you did what? We actually bugged the merchant stars. That is wonderful. Okay, so we already have all 3 merchant stars 1 turn in, which is just hilarious. So we'll progress through that. That's awesome. I don't even remember what I was coming in here to look at anymore. I think that's hilarious. Oh yeah, the ashram. Oh yeah, it does say +1 money. +1 money on religious district. Okay, interesting. So we have enough religious districts in some of our cities. I mean, 5 money is nothing, right? So I honestly don't think we're gonna build a lot of these ashrams. It's just not gonna be worth it to us. I think we're just gonna keep cranking. We'll just keep cranking our market quarters out, right? So that's what we're gonna do. We had 691,000 gold in our bank right now. Sweet goodness. Actually, you know what? We spend some of that. Let's not hoard our money too much. Like let's get some let's do some spending so that we can really see what we can do early on in the game here. We should also switch our tech. We'll finish what we're researching, I guess, but okay, so let's go to buyout. 36,000 to buy those out. Let's check really quick down here. The factory is going to cause a lot of pollution. I'm not opposed to the pollution. Sawmill only causes us 11 pollution. It's not bad. But I just don't. I want to almost like. What if we didn't pollute at all? You know. So I think we're just going to literally buy in market quarters. That's our buy-in, right? We're just going to start buying in like really nice looking market quarters. Let's just buy in like a couple market quarters per city. We'll do like three in each city to start with. Maybe 4. Let's do 4. They're really expensive. They're getting really expensive. Let's go to our next city. Make sure we don't have anything to buy. I don't think we have anything down there to buy. We can check that. Beautiful. There's 1. There's 2. Here's 3. And a 4th one for you guys. Let's put it. And then you guys can keep building. Great, wonderful. In fact, we're spending it. We're spending the money very quickly because these market quarters are monstrously expensive. 1. Where's our 2. 3. And 4th. Yeah, let's put it down here. Okay, there's 4 from Carthage. Let's get some from Kilwa. That's nice. We'll buy that in. 1. And oh, way over here. Perfect. 2. And let's go over here for 3, and we'll put the 4th one in. Yes. Jason. Beauty. Let's go to our next city. Hey, we're running out of gold. We're not going to get to all of our cities. Let's go to buyout again. This one. I don't think we're actually going to get them all in. 2. That's too far up. Maybe not. That's actually pretty beneficial. Is there a VOC down there too? It's also a VOC, so either of these works. 3, and that's this might be. We might be out of gold here. 65 monies left. 65. Well, 65,000. And then let's. Can we buy out any here? We can buy out a couple. 2. And a 3. We won't get any further than that. This gets us too deep here, so that's fine. Boom. We spent all of our gold. We did it. We successfully spent all of our gold. We're up to 114,000 money per turn. And I think we'll do one more. Let's go one more turn here really quick. Should be fast because we're just building things. Wireless telegraphy researched, and then we'll be able to tech to our tech. Trade route's destroyed, so again, not loving that. Civics vote. I'm not. The civics honestly just don't matter anymore at this point to me. We can vote. We can vote on that later. Let's go to the tech tree because I think that's the most important thing right now. So first things first, we want to get to rocket science. Rocket science gets us to the space station. The space station triggers our narrative event for the space race. There are then I think 2 additional projects we have to build after that. Each that require more and more strategic resources and more rare strategic resources. We're gonna tech straight to rocket science. Then we go rocket science. We got to get radar for that. We got to get air warfare. So again, that's why we made sure aeronautics was researched so we could jump straight to rocket science because that's going to be our fastest path out. And that actually takes us right to end turn. That was actually the only thing we needed to do. Let's do a quick trade check because we did see, wow, so much salted beef being put in. That is a bunch of salted beef. Look, I like salted beef. We'll eat it. Send it to our people.
I suppose I have time.
Make sure all of this is still functioning.
Tell me, York.
What? Noble.
All of our trade
I said
is
hello.
looking.
Are we done now?
Iron? We don't need it, but I'll spend the money on it. Why not? Actually, I'm surprised we even have the money to do this. Oh no, we didn't. I forgot. We spent it, but then that was 2,000. Oh. I mean, again, we don't care, so no big deal. All right. That takes us to the end of our episode for today. We are in the contemporary era, and we are hard charging for our end game condition. We've got aluminum and uranium unlocked on the map, so we can actually, at the beginning of next episode, we'll do a quick check and review if we have the strategics to be able to move forward, or if we need to go declare war or do some hostile takeover of somebody else to make sure we can get our space race done. But after moving up and using the Indians, not the Chinese, as our final contemporary era, which surprised me, we are sitting at 115,000 gold per turn generation. It's out of hand. It's out of hand. It's the harbor strat is wild. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode. It has been absolutely a pleasure. This series has been so much fun showing off this strategy. If you're trying this strategy or if you have tried it before, let me know down in the comments. I always like to see kind of what people are doing. And what's your favorite strategy? What's your favorite Humankind strategy? There's a million ways to play the game. One of my favorite things about Humankind is you could really people are like, oh, like, do you have what's your best practice tips? Or like, how do you play the game? And I'm like, I mean, Humankind, just play. It's so much fun because you can win. You got to do stuff well, but you can win doing a lot of different things. So many different varieties of ways to win a game of Humankind. So it's a lot of fun. Hopefully you're enjoying the series. Next week, Sunday, will be the next episode in this series. I doubt that we'll wrap it up then. We'll probably have 1 or 2 more episodes left here in the contemporary as we kind of progress through our space race and see how we can maximize our gold. So stay tuned to see just how high we can push our gold in our Humankind Harbor Strat series. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.